Welcome to your one pager on relationships, surviving to thriving. And remember, we're looking for that thriving relationship mindset, which is actually really adaptable to change. You're really able to take any relationship, whether it's the one with yourself or the one with others around you, and you're able to be fulfilled, be authentically you, but also have these supporting and challenging relationships around you that create this beautiful life story of connection and growth and gratitude and love. And so here, I just wanted to give you a little video on how to use your one pager. One pages are there to kind of help you to embed some learnings. And this is for you to come back to as many times as you like to. You don't need to sign up. You can just come back to the link, just save the link somewhere that you don't lose it in your notes or somewhere. So that you can keep coming back to it, or rather just send me an email and we'll take it from there. And I can help you with anything personal that you need along the way. So we're looking at our 5 principles of inspirational relationships. And remember what I said to you about the star rating. What the star rating means is that 1 star is much easier to work on. It doesn't take as much intensity of effort. You tend to be more willing to do it. 2 stars also pretty good. 3 stars getting harder. 4 star is obviously like, you know, we're relating it to almost a hotel, but it's your stars within you as a person. And then setting goals together gets a bit tougher. And obviously 5 star, to get a 5-star rating can be a little bit harder. All right, so we're starting with that 1 star, which is about knowing yourself. Who am I? And determining like what is most important to you right now, your top 3 I am personal values. And just think broadly, like what is your life really demonstrating? Go and look at your calendar if you've got one and see where have you actually put time in? What meetings have you attended? Where are you spending your time? What are you doing maybe with your kids if you've got some, or your partner? What are you doing with yourself? Are you focusing on gym or well-being? And be really specific about what it is. Maybe you're mountain biking or you're out on the road, like that's what you love doing. So really, really look and say, what is most important to me right now? And what does my life demonstrate on a daily basis in the last month? What if I've got leftover money, what am I spending that on? Because I am going to gravitate to what's most important to me. And the better that you get to know yourself, obviously the greater results you're going to have. The next step is really about knowing others. And so knowing what's most important to them in their life. And this is the same process. And I've just sort of said, you know, I've put 3 options here, but really you're just sort of thinking once again about, you know, the 3 most important people in your life. If there's 6, that's fine. I'm just giving you a concept. And if you've got children sort of under 6, you're looking where they're naturally moving to, you know, they're actually moving in a certain direction, and they're going to go for that thing, or they're going to watch that movie over and over again. But it's not necessary. I don't want you to just say, oh, it's cars. What is it specifically about cars that they love? And what are they demonstrating they love? And watch for it to change. You know, under 6, you're looking for that change. And under 6 is easy because they can't help but do what they love. You know, they just go for what they love. And then there's a little bit of subordination that starts to happen, you know, between sort of 7 years of age up to about 12. You'll start to see that they generally subordinate to their parents and what their parents want. So you'll start to see them changing a little bit. So be mindful to keep watching what's most important to them so that you can really get to know them and allow them to be who they truly are and challenge them in what they love. Imagine we could do this for our children. Teenage years, it's more likely to be social in those years, you know, friendships and things like that. That's usually the case. And some people, obviously, there'll be some that prefer academics and learning and things like that and education, but majority is about friendships at this age. So they'll be pulling away from you as a parent. You'll see the grunts coming out when you're talking questions because maybe you're not looking at what's most important to them. So really important, once again, to keep an eye on what are they doing in their daily life, like what's going on for them. And then the same thing for as we get older, it might be about making money, getting a job, or studying from sort of 18 years of age. And then you're looking, and then eventually it circles back around to family. All the while, there'll be specifics inside that. So look specifically, what is it exactly? You know, so, and once you do that, you're going to find it so much easier to open up the conversation, keep everyone talking in that moment. So really think about this one. I wanted to let you know that the I Am questionnaire that's been around since 2015 and it's been tested is actually going through a major transition at the moment. As soon as that's ready, I'll pop that through and you'll be able to catch that link, and it's going to have a personal report about how you can really grow into your authentic self. So that's going to be an automated, it's going to be a free questionnaire with a free report on your personal values, your I am who's. So just to let you know, that's coming very, very soon. It's in final stage. And so here it's like, if you wanted to do a little bit of a digger deep into yourself, I thought I'll just add this slide. And the way that you do that is a little bit of self-reflection and self-awareness. Okay, so this helps you to up your awareness of yourself, like, and just really see wherever you've owned your voice, wherever you've made money, wherever you've received self-love, wherever you owned your uniqueness, come up with an idea or achieved a longer-term goal, that is the areas that are most important to you. So once you've done that, you might want to come back up here and tweak these ones, you know, once you've had a little bit of a dig. And you know, this takes some work, obviously, but not too bad. Now, Imago is that listening is communication. Okay, this is like the 3-star that we're talking about now. And that's where we want to start practicing this tool. So what I've done is on the left-hand side, there's a video here where I've done an explanation about Imago and also how to do a partner Imago, so that you've got some insight, and you can open it up because it's a YouTube, so that you can see the slides more easily and how the Imago process and dialogue works. And then on the right-hand side is how to sort of run a family Imago, so that you've got that deeper explanation. And really, it's just about creating that habit of practicing listening. You will see so many benefits come from this. Like, you will find that you will have children from that family Imago that are really attentive listeners, almost too much at times. Okay. Now, the next thing is to really work on those individual goals. So you want to actually be able to really, really hone in on what each person's goals are. And I like to do this for the whole month of January. I sort of started in December a little bit, but not too much, because we're still working on the previous year's goals. And I leave it until January, and that whole month is to get ready for the year's goals. And we do that together as a family. And so that really helps if you have the individual goals before you try and align to what are our family goals, because you'll start to see, oh, this is actually something I'm interested in, or I quite like this goal and how can I help, or this is aligned to my goal that I have for you as children. Like, mine's in and around education, and mathematics and English is important as a base foundational level, and building from that, because I feel like that's part of communication. It's also part of problem solving is mathematics. So, you know, that's important to me. And then when they've got individual goals in that area, it's just, wow, that's perfectly aligned, you know, like for us joining those goals together. And then obviously making sure there's some fun in there, there's some connection, and then everyone's kind of signing off on those family goals and the rules around them. So goals can be things like rules within the family unit, and that could be something like, to say, technology down Monday to Thursday between 5 to 7. That could be a goal, and we're going to do that for a month, or we're going to do it for the whole year, or, you know, what's the exception to the rule, and everyone kind of buys in, signs off on that goal. You know, it's a little bit like when you sign a marriage contract, if you have one, or a contract to buy a property, you know, those kind of contracts. But we don't tend to sign off the other relationships we have with. And even if you're working on your friendships, it's great to kind of work out and manage the expectations of each other, come together and align with each other, so there's a fair exchange in that relationship and everybody understands each other, and obviously the rules of the game. So that's really useful, and it's great to put them up somewhere, get them up, make them visible, help each other to be accountable to them. And then that also naturally creates this family culture of what you're about. And it's an individualized thing. It's individualized, your family, it's your culture, it's your way. You don't have to copy someone else's way. Here we've got just the left-hand side is kind of our, you know, instinctual. It's our hindbrain, it's the amygdala, it's the reactive. It's either we're infatuated, we're impulsive for pleasure, you know, on the support, on the pleasure side. And then on the other side, we got the other side of the instinct side, which is resentment, anger, maybe, you know, challenges and things like that. And it's like that polar swing, okay, that we tend to do. We're swinging, and what we want to be moving is helping our children and helping ourselves to move into this prefrontal cortex, the frontal lobe, okay, and that's where we're going to start to see that intuition kicking in. It's guiding me back. It's my map for life. It's keeping me on purpose. It's allowing me to embrace support and challenge equally, not being infatuated with only support, not being resentful or not wanting to run away from only challenge. Okay, so really talking about embracing both and not having these big pendulum swings all over the show, where we're going to get our gratitude, our growth, our connection, our authenticity. We've got the heart and the vision, and that's the label breaker. So fair exchange. So what tends to happen is we in relationships tend to say, you always leave your shoes at the door. You never actually put your clothes away, your socks away, or you always throw your socks on the bathroom floor, or you never help out with the kids, or you always want to go on a Friday night and be with your friends, or these kind of labels, and they're sort of all or nothings, and they're label breakers, that they're always like that. And a label breaker to put someone into your heart to increase communication, which also increases immunity of your own body. Fantastic. Of what you get is to actually see where did that person display the other side. So go and see when did they display the other side. Now remember, that is there in your subconscious, but you can't see it because you've got your instinctual brain kicking in. You're angry, you're frustrated, you're in the coping stage, as they say in Imago. And so what's happening in that stage is it's really hard to go and look. And if you just keep asking the question, and know internally that the other side is there, it's in nature. We have build, we have destroy, we have forests, we have deserts. It's there. The law of compensation is all around us. And so just go and see if you can work this exercise and break some labels so that you can have that maximal growth and stay closer to the border. Okay, and you're really thinking about those 5 L's that are going to help you to do that, which is to listen and look. Listen and look. Okay, look at the nonverbal cues. They're all around you. Like, be present in your life. Be aware of those. Be aware of what's going on with your family. Be aware of what's going on with yourself and your own body, and communicate that. Actually open up and be yourself and say who that is. It's a very difficult thing sometimes in all our different relationship dynamics to actually be yourself. So really to step into your authenticity, which gives every other family member permission to do the same. So you lead the way with that enthusiasm, and then really sort of to learn from what you're listening and looking at. Okay, learn that. And to learn that is actually to teach someone else, to talk to someone else about what you're learning, or to share it and to be it, And then they say to learn something, the quicker you can find a teacher, the quicker that you obviously embed it for life. And then leverage that learning, which was the racehorse kind of look and feel, is to leverage. It's like a racehorse, you're leveraging now off what you've done, and then you actually growing, and you're having that love in your heart. So that means you've got your straightest route to your vision, your family vision, your individual vision. And so it's about having this family without giving up a part of yourself, for you to actually be loved and appreciated for who you are, and also to have a relationship with others where you can love and appreciate them for who they are, and they can do the same for themselves too. It was the Humpty Dumpty story that I gave in his example. You need to put yourself back together. It's going to take some work. The 5-star rating is the hardest, and it's going to take an intensity of effort over time to create those habits. Do the work, and you'll see the shifts. And you will look and go, goodness gracious, I just didn't think that this could happen. But look at the growth that we've had as a family unit. Look at the things that we're doing together. Look at the way that we're supporting and challenging each other to achieve our fullest potential. But also look at the responsibility and ownership I take on myself to grow and have a fulfilled life. Okay, so that's what we're looking to. And you can just write a gratitude letter on that. And then there's just this extra reading that you can have, and some videos. Esther Perel's brilliant. She's quite funny. She's animated for partnerships. She's done a lot of counseling and relationships. She's definitely using some of the Imago work, and she's quite cool to listen to and get tips from. And that's pretty cool. And then Stephen Covey's got some good tips, and he's quite funny too, in his 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families. The Audible's really good. He gives some funny stories about his own experiences with his kids growing up, and he's really just being transparent and open about his own family life and the things that he went through. Then there's the essential sort of strategies for building inspired relationships. Dr. Demartini, he for me is one of the leading people in human behavior and personal development in the world. And I've been fortunate enough to be around his work and been studying his work since 2006, as well as to be a facilitator of his work. It is the hardest tool. It obviously involves asking some pretty serious quality questions that really go in and challenge you to look for the other side that exists. I highly recommend. Then we've got an imago therapy lesson, which we know is the listening one. Compensation, you know, this up and down, hot and cold, nice and mean. It's one can't live without the other. So this is Emerson's essay on that. And then if you want to keep your children connected and talking, if you need some help, feel free to make an appointment and let's have a discovery, and I'd love to help you out. Enjoy your one pager. I'm sure you're going to enjoy the tools here. Have a great one. Thanks very much.